Hi everyone, Blair and I are doing a test on our battery system. I have my Victron solar controller charging, and I'll put that up here in the screen so you can all see what happens as we do things. What I wanted to show you is that what this vehicle is capable of, or what I want to show you is what an Airstream, a typical Airstream, is capable of just running on battery alone. I've unplugged shore power, and we are sitting in a camping spot right now. So what I'm going to do at this point is turn on the battery. So right now my screen says 100% with time remaining is infinite. This is from a Victron battery shunt that we put in a couple weeks ago. So nothing's on, turn the battery on, and I see right away, I see my radio powering up. So right now it's spiked up and now it's settled back down. I have less than 1 amp currently getting used. And it says at this pace, my batteries would last 10 days. We have two 12-volt AGM batteries in there. Both have 85 amp hours each, so a total of 170 amp hours. But AGM batteries must be recharged once they get to 50%. Therefore, you really only have 85 amp hours to use, and then you start damaging batteries. So I'm at 7 watts of power, less than 1 amp. I'm going to go around and turn on the main ceiling lights and see what that changes to. I'm going to turn on every ceiling light into place and just see what happens then. Every light that I can possibly have turned on in this rig is on, to include the awning outside and the light outside. So now I'm at 8.25 amps, 100 watts, 104 watts. So it's telling me if I left all these on without any solar power coming back in, and it's cloudy outside, so we have no solar coming in right now, that my batteries would last 20 hours, and it's counting down. 19 hours. Pepper says it's time to play. 18 hours. 17, 20. 17 minutes, or 17 hours. So it's rapidly counting down. Now I'm going to turn on the refrigerator. Let's turn the radio on. Turn the volume down, but the radio is on. So now I'm getting close to 11 hours of power remaining. I have no inverter on. This is just DC direct current operation going on here. So I'm going to turn on our fan like I'm cooking. And then I'm going to turn on our overhead fan on middle speed. Then I'm going to turn the bathroom fans on. Alright, I'm steady counting down right now. It says I got 6 hours, counting 33, 30, 27, 20. Man, it's going fast. Our battery's getting dead, Blair. 6 hours of time remaining. 5 hours of time remaining. Now, I'll show you right now is what we would be set up doing in a summertime kind of evening situation, cooking. So I've got fans open, pulling air through here, just kind of showing you what that would look like. So I'm going to close the fans and turn off some of the lights. And what's happening right now is exactly what I wanted to happen. The heater just turned on. So I'm going to turn the radio off. All right, so now I'm pulling 12 volts, 8 amps, 100 watts of power. Time remaining is 6 hours and 30 minutes roughly. Oh, it's going back up. I turned off all these lights, and now it's just this basic dim lit ceiling, and the furnace is running. I have 0 watts coming in on the solar panel. Oh, we're gaining some time back. That's good. So now we're in sort of a winter time setting on what we might be doing in the evening. I have my furnace running and this one ceiling light on and one bedroom light on. It's telling me with that current setup, I got 8 hours, right at 9 hours now, 9 hours and 1 minute of battery life remaining. So Blair and I have spent the night many nights in Unplugged, Harvest Host, BLM Land, you name it. We've spent time in all those places. But we noticed that that furnace, when it's kicked on, just maintaining a 40-degree temperature in here. So a couple nights ago we were in Idaho and it was 12 degrees outside. Currently it's 24 degrees outside. So we got the furnace set to 60 probably. Is that what's on Blair? Mm-hmm. So at nighttime we turn it down to 40 when we go to bed and just cover it with a bunch of blankets, and Piper snuggles with us so she helps keep us warm. But it will rapidly drain our battery at nighttime when we're in that kind of setting. When we wake up in the morning, I check my battery voltage. So right now it's 12.3. When I get up in the morning, if we let that heater run all that long, just maintaining 40 degrees, it'll already be at 11.1, 11.4, something like that. So if it gets down below like 10.5 amps, it's going to shut itself off because it's protecting itself. So if you think that it's possible to charge your computer, run the heater, turn the inverter on and run the TV and have all the lights on and manage that, you're going to need way more batteries than you have. We have 270 watts of solar panels on top and we have our 2 AGM batteries. And it's enough, as long as we get plenty of sunlight during the day, it's enough to recharge for the most part if we manage our expectations, really considerate management of our power use. It's manageable, but people think that they can do all sorts of things with the factory solar, and it's not possible. We're gaining some time back now. We're at about 9 hours and 57 minutes, 58. So it's slowly giving some time back. So I'm going to cut the heater off. So the furnace is pulling 7 amps right now, 12 volts, 12.5 volts. And I got 10 hours of battery remaining right now, and it'll turn off momentarily. Then I'm going to turn on our inverter and show you what the inverter coming on, because the inverter uses power for itself. Then anything you plug into an outlet to use the inverter. So these Victrons, the app that comes with that shunt is what it's called, the battery shunt. It's pretty handy. It just pulls up on your phone, you Bluetooth to it. Ours is hooked into the battery box, so it's closest to the battery, which required me to do the least amount of wiring for it. But all right, so I'm rapidly going back up in time remaining on my battery. With this lights running, I'm pulling a 1.6 amps, 21 watts. So I'm going to turn the inverter on. Battery's at 12.6, so let's see what that's pulling. 12.6 volts, 3.8 amps, 49 watts. So now my time's going back up again. So let's turn on TV and see what that does. So now my battery power is going back down. I'm back down to 14, 47, 46, 45, 44. So just having the inverter on and the TV on is pulling some power, even though these things are super energy efficient. Everything in here is, it still drains your battery. So the refrigerator's on, the water heater's on, what little lights we have on. You know, the time I use my water pump a few times. The water pump's on. Right under 14 amps. So what you need to do is you need to kind of figure out, all right, at most I'm going to run my water pump for, that was 10, 15 seconds. I might do that and flush the toilet, 20 times a day. So total, my water pump throughout the day may be running for 3 minutes or less. So I need to figure out how much wattage my water pump uses, multiply that by 3, and I get my usage for the day on that battery. If it's summertime and I'm going to have my fantastic fans open, I need to know how much power they're going to pull and how long I think I'm going to use them. If I'm cooking, how long will I be cooking and need to pull air out of here over the stove? So how many watts does that use and how many amps does it pull? Then I can figure that out. So what we're doing is an energy audit. And I want to audit all the things that I plan on using in my rig and how long do I think I'm going to be using them. And I can kind of get a guesstimate of what my battery life might look like. If you're planning on building a rig from scratch and putting a solar system on, or you're planning on ordering you a new one and you need to know, do you want factory solar, do you want dealer installed solar? The factory on an Airstream specifically, if you're getting something that's 25 foot or less, they're going to put one 90 watt panel on it. Your 27 and up, they're going to give you 2 panels. Your classics and your pottery barns, a special edition pottery barn, they're going to give you 3 solar panels from the factory. You can have additionals added like we did. We put a 3rd solar panel up top. Your roof is wired for 3 solar panels. And those wires are capable of handling 400 watts of solar. So if you're going to go more than that, you would have to have something totally rewired in your Airstream. So all Airstreams today new come with 3 ports to plug in. If you have a 4th panel, you can splice the wires together and that'll work just fine. But you can't have more than 400 watts coming in at any given time because that's what the wiring is rated for. If you get to 2 AGM batteries, which is probably what yours are going to come with, Centennial or a Lifetime is what they're going to be. They're going to be 80 amp hour batteries or 85 amp hour batteries. The way they measure the amp hours of a battery, so 85 amp hours, they measure how many amps getting drawn from it at any given time does it take to kill the battery over 20 hours. So an 85 amp hour would be about 4.25 amps over the course of 20 hours and it would kill it. An 80 amp hour battery is a little less than that. 100 amp hour battery would be 5 amps per hour over 20 hours. So it's just some basic math there. That's how you can figure out what that means. Your lithium batteries, so Battleborn, for example, if you get Battleborn batteries, they are fantastic. I love them. They are very expensive. I don't remember the specific numbers, and I'll try to look this up for this video, but
truthfully, however, you really want to save that money until you could afford lithium for the next time, because when we take a look at the life cycle cost per kilowatt hour, things really get interesting. Whereas the Battleborns cost only 9 cents per kilowatt hour if we extrapolate a 50% discharge, the cheapest, even the flooded lead acid at a 12 volt cutout, because their voltage cutout is lower, cost us 19 cents per kilowatt hour delivered over their life cycle. The AGMs came in much more expensive at 65 cents, 52 cents, and 39 cents per kilowatt hour delivered. That's 4 to 6 times more expensive than the lithium batteries.
As a multi-year, RV owner, full-timer, people ask me all the time, what do you use for your solar? What do you use for your batteries? How do you live off the grid? How do you like it? So on and so forth. And would I upgrade to all this extra solar? I would love to have a bank of lithium batteries underneath this couch, but I lose storage. And as a full-timer, storage is a premium. I would love to have more solar panels on top, but Airstreams they do not have the real estate on top like some of your big fifth wheels have. Also, that's very expensive. We can go right now to Lowe's and buy a 2,000 watt inverter generator, or 2 of them, and put them in parallel together for the cost of about 1 battery. So maybe 2 batteries, but they're not that expensive. So using a generator, inverter generator, for a little bit of time during the day, I think is beneficial. It's much less hassle. I get the point of not wanting gas, not wanting to carry a gas can, not wanting the noise in the campground, trying to be as silent as possible. Those things are wonderful. You just have to determine what your needs are by doing an energy audit, and you have to determine what you think you might need in your rig in order to figure yourself out. So a little bit of energy audit. Blair and I have been very good. We've spent at most 4 nights in a boondocking situation, And by the fourth night, after having the heater running during the day and plenty of sun during the day, or the heater running at night and plenty of sun during the day to recharge, we finally had to plug the truck up to the 7-way pin to get some juice back in the batteries. Hi everyone, Brad here. I'm going to talk to you today about this portable ZAMP solar panel. So just got this thing in the mail the other day. On top of our rig right now are 3 90-watt panels from the factory, 2 from the factory, 1 dealer installed, but it's the same panel. So I have a maximum possibility of 270 watts of solar coming in from my roof. This time of year, wintertime, cold, the sun is pretty low in the sky all day. So when Blair and I are boondocking or off the grid or somewhere we need to recharge our battery, I don't always have the option to point all of my solar panels at the sun. For example, right now only one of my solar panels is getting any sunlight because of the angle of the roof. So 2 are on this, one is on this side of the air conditioner, one is on the front, the other side of the air conditioner, and one is in the middle. And the 2 on the other side are angled the other way. So this is an option to give me, this is a 100-watt portable ZAMP solar panel, and it is fantastic. It is super thin, wonderful option here. So you have this zippered section here, which has your solar controller, which is magnetic, so you can leave it in here covered up with a clear screen, or you can set it out somewhere and magnet to your bumper or magnet to wherever you need to. It comes with these 2 battery cables, so you can plug this directly to a battery, or you put the ZAMP solar plug on the end of it, and you can plug it directly into your Airstream. All newer models, and I don't truly know what year they started doing this for Airstream, but all the newer models have a dedicated ZAMP solar plug right at the A-frame up front by the battery. If you've watched a previous video of ours, you know that on the bottom of ours right now, I have our repeater for the tire minder system. So I'm going to take this now, and I'm going to plug it into the ZAMP solar plug up front. As soon as I get this thing all set up here. So I turn it around, undo the buckles, open it up. The solar panel is right there. So I set it to the angle I want it. It has 3 different settings here. I'm going to turn it towards the sun, and I can already see on the ZAMP solar panel what I'm receiving. So let's go plug this in. So that ZAMP solar panel, or the ZAMP solar plug, is plugged in. It automatically detects that I have an AGM battery. Now I'm plugged in shore power at the same time right now, so it's really not showing me much of what I need to know, but it's that simple. And this thing is pointed directly at the sun, getting full sun on my 100-watt solar panel. So this gives me up to now 370 of total solar watts. So if my rig were parked under a shady spot, or the sun is low in the sky, whatever else case may be, these are an excellent option to add to your arsenal of battery minding, solar charging, off the grid living situations. So they're not cheap. These panels are pretty expensive, but they're also an excellent resource. This one will store underneath our bed in the back panel, so it can remain safely back there. It'll store in the bed of the truck. It'll store in the back seat of the truck. There's plenty of places to put this thing because it's very thin and very, very portable. I like it, and as soon as we get off grid again, I will show you what it does in the real world situation.